Okay, morning everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning, Monday morning. I'm Dede. Thanks for being here. You're at Ustream.tv, a live show with a mostly awake, alive chat. So I'll be chatting with people in the chat. And so if you're watching this recording on YouTube, yeah, I know, isn't she cute, Eileen? If you're watching this on YouTube, a recording, thanks for watching over there. And yeah, thanks for being here. Hey, Samurai. Anybody else I missed? So yeah, I drew this yesterday. It's a dog caboose and stuff caboose underscore and underscore stuff on Instagram, and all she does is post her. That's all she does is post pictures of her, and I love seeing them. So I decided I would just do a little painty sketch. No, I did not, Diana. I haven't talked to Lady Jan to ask her more about it. Yeah. So anyway, I did this, and again, it's a little flashed out, but I don't want to get the camera too dark. So I worked on her, and it's just with a little bit of paint and some detail with pencil, kind of like I did Miss Annette's dogs, which she's supposed to get today. I think they're supposed to be at Miss Annette's today. Her Paula Dean and Martha Stewart. That's the name of Annette's dogs. So anyway, I did that. I want to try to remember to give away our pack this week and of art cards and old art cards collected up. Happy Mail. Got to try to remember to do that. Hey, Lan. So yeah, it's Monday. Smile. So I thought I got a little bit of happy mail from Juju, Just Judy, for my birthday. So I thought I'd show that. The only other thing I got was over the weekend. I did buy a couple of the brown paints. You know, I told y'all I was out of some brown acrylic paint, so I got some browns and a couple blacks because I was out of them. So I got that. Um, and I got the calendar at Books a Million. They're almost done. I think this is the last week, and maybe it was yesterday, was the last week that they do their $3 calendars. They start the first week of February. They go through the whole month or until they sell out or whatever. And they sell all their calendars for $3. Even the leather planners that have calendars in them, everything, $3. So I did get this one because y'all know I'm doing my mixed media stuff. So I'll show you this one in a minute when I go to, I wanted to do a flip through the my mixed media collage altered books that I use the calendars and things in. But first, now I'll make this a different video. I'm going to do a video where I show you my journals all in one, probably take about 20 minutes or so. Then I'll do a separate video where I show where I do that. But first, I wanted to show you what Juju sent me. So she sent me the Coloring Heaven Gothic Special. And she said that she sent me this one because she got it in the UK and she didn't think I'd have it here. And she's right, I don't. So, yeah, so we might color in this one today. So here's the card. She wrote me a nice note. And here's the card she made in the mixed media style that I show you guys. In mixed media collage style. So look, isn't that good? Good job, Juju. Yeah, so she sent me this card. And then she made me a bracelet, which February is amethyst, so it's purple. And look, she made this, guys. I don't wear jewelry while I'm streaming because it makes noise. But I wanted to show you guys this beautiful bracelet. Thank you so much, Juju. Look at all the little pearls and amethyst and purple beads. And yeah, it's got some little glitter hearts in there. There we go. Little glitter hearts and beads and crystals and just all kinds of little purple goodness. Hey TNT, I if you're asking me, I wasn't in that swap, so I can't tell you. So yeah, if you put it in caps, you were asking me. I don't know. So anyway, I love that. And then again, I do not have this. So I will show it a little bit more when we go to color in it, but it's all kind of gothic. It's got some, there's no nudity. I looked through to make sure there's no nudity, but there's some kind of sexy girls, and some goth girls and, some unicorns and a couple of dragons and yeah. So we'll probably do a page out of this if that sounds good to you. Hey, Julie Topaz. So yeah, Gothic Special. So really appreciate that. Thanks so much, Juju. So we'll do that in a minute. So I want to, yeah, I really love this. I really think it's beautiful, and I like silver, so that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Very, very sweet of you, Juju. Just Judy is Juju. Okay, so I want to just take a few minutes because I always get asked, where's your different videos on your different journal flips, collage mixed media ones? And I think that I have them in my playlist, but apparently I don't have them all in one place. So I'm going to do this video showing my mixed media collage journals, and then we'll do a separate video for coloring. But again, let me show you this because this kind of goes along with what I do in those journals, and it is using calendars and old books and whatever in my mixed media and to paint them into my little worlds. But I found this at Books A Million, and so I'll show you the different ones. It's just all like ancient or well, it's called Left Behind because it's all stuff that's abandoned. So yeah, look at this one. Isn't that cool? It's like a house and like the ocean has kind of come into it. Like that's all sand right there. Isn't that cool? These would also just be cool as 12 by 12 just to alter these. Just in themselves because they're so big with one big alter, one big image to alter. So yeah, these are all abandoned places. I know, right, Eileen? Here's an abandoned plane, an old house. Look at that. Wouldn't this be neat to buy and have an art retreat center? Yeah, I can see us all arting here. Yeah, yeah. Exactly, Juju. Yeah. The boat, that was the one on the cover. So isn't this cool, guys? Look at the boat. Look at the painting and everything on the boat. It's like some kind of like a mermaid or something painted on there. I find cool calendars. Yeah, I look for them though, Jessica. I hunt them out. I search them out. Starting the first week of February every year. And here's like an abandoned church or chapel. Train. Another church. They're probably on here saying what it is somewhere, but I don't see. I don't know. Coloring. I know, right? Have a coloring art retreat, a mixed media altered, yeah. Or just any kind of art. Any kind. Painting, drawing, sketching, anything. And we'd have it in this building right here. Where'd it go? Yeah, we'd have it in here. I know, right, Suzanne? Then there's a car. And yeah, so that's the 12 of them. And it's just all kinds of abandoned places. Yeah, I know, isn't it? So let me show you a couple of books that I have here that I do the altered. This is what I use for altered books. So I also have my altered journals where I'll take a blank page and alter it, mixed media collage it. But I also do you can see me making these as 12 by 12 pages. Yeah, Orla. So this one Eileen just sent me a couple weeks ago. well, maybe a month now. I don't know. But anyway, so what I do when I use these altered books is I don't just go through and go like one page and then go the next page. I just skip around. I matte medium them with golden matte medium to take the shine away, and that's also what I use to glue my images down. And then there's more painting out on the books, and then there's more painting in on my collage journals. So I don't want to really flip through every page. I'll try to get to, you can see how one day we spent just like putting some things in and trying to get some ideas. Let me see if I can just like here. So we just tuck some things in. I'm not going to go through every page, but here's one that we did on, there's a video for this one. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Hey, Carol, anybody else? We did this one, added some collage bits. There's a clock up here. This is all from a Tiffany stained glass lamp, and we put that on the floor, painted in the stars, painted in the mist and all that, and the watch hands. So this is kind of like I call reverse collage, because I'm reversing out the imagery that's there and then adding more and adding paint. So let's see here. Here's another one that we did, I think, a couple weeks ago. And these were, there were this, and this, and this. And what they are abandoned water towers, I think. Tankers, like water tanks, you know, or it could be oil, I'm not sure. But anyway, they're abandoned, so we turned them into like spaceships. And then added a mountain from another Japanese calendar, added water and waterfall, all this stuff. We just added in, painted it in, or reversed it out. So you get rid of the background. Okay, so whatever's in the background, you kind of paint out. I don't know if there's anything else that we've done in this book finished. See, here's a whole bunch of just leftover collage bits, some wax paper so you don't glue your pages together. So, but I've flipped through this book before. Here's some more bits that I want to add to these pages. So this one we just kind of start. I say we because if you're here watching and working with me, it's like we talk it out. What do you think about this? See, here's some angels, some stone angels that they're just like tacked down for a minute until we get back to it. So yeah, I think there's something else in here somewhere. Maybe not. So it's just so fun to take a book. It doesn't have to be in abandoned places. You really need to find a book. If you want to do this process, you need to find a book. It's something that you like, whether it's flowers, gardens, pets, fashion magazines, or fashion books. I would recommend a book that has heavier paper than a magazine, although we do the same type of process in magazines. We'll glue a couple magazines together and do this, but you're not fighting thin pages if you use a book. So find you a book on clearance, and you can do this kind of process. So that's Forgotten Heritage. And then in the same vein is Abandoned Places. I'll show this one in a minute. Abandoned Places. And it's the same type of thing. This one has more done in it. Let me see if I can flip to pages that we've finished. So you can see where you paint out things. You can go in here and doodle on them. You could Zentangle in it. If you like to Zentangle or doodle, just paint out the areas. And I just use acrylic craft paint, Americana craft paint, that it doesn't have any sheen to it. If you try to use like artist grade acrylic paints, they have binders in them that leave a shine, like a sheen, and it's hard to use color pencil or draw on top of that shiny bit. So it's just easier if you go with a craft paint that you can just, it's flat and matte. Okay, so I started painting out some of this. Here's one that I've started where painting around it here, and I want this little deer to be in here. He's going to be in here somewhere. I'm not sure where, but he's going to be in here. So he's just kind of sitting there waiting for me to make him a home. So I'm just going to kind of do a little flip. Hopefully y'all can see. It's not too dark, I hope. I don't want it to get it too flashed out, so I've tried to find a medium. I mean, this is like true color, but, you know, it's a little dark when I look at my hand here. But hopefully y'all get the idea. So, yeah, you just paint out. This one we have a video on. And paint out, and then add, like I added the tiger and the flowers, and painted in the worlds here, added the fish and the mist and all that. But it's just really fun because you can just use your imagination, but you don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. Like, just start. I'm going to just stop on the pages that have something done on them. This one. This had a bunch of layers of buildings, and these little guys looked like they were looking down. Well, they are looking down. So I got rid of all the rest of the buildings and just painted space in there. Yes, the stone. Hey, Jean, by the way, good morning. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to do flips through my mixed media collage journals and altered books. Just so you can kind of see. This one we did on a show a couple weeks ago. I'm tilted up a little. Take the... Again, we left the castle, painted everything out, then added, you know, we added a watch here, added a stone angel, painted in the water, added the flowers, added this piece of stained glass, and just, you know, you just play with it and just make your own world. This one has a video. Added this big planet over here. Painted out all the sky. Added this water here. All these waves. We added that. Added the watch. So yeah, just kind of want to do a little quick flip of the different ways that you can do this. This one. And I'll just go back and forth working on them. Sometimes I'll finish it like here, you know, on the show. Here's one. Again, painted out all the inside the arches. Made our own space scene. Working on this one here. Got the sky going. This one has quite a few more, you know, done than the other one so far. This is one of my favorites. And the color's a little, it's very turquoise. It's not showing up real turquoise. It's all very turquoise here. Painted the mist, painted the little banister tops there. This one's in progress. Let's see what else. This one's in progress. Just painting, adding collage bits. Looking at the altered books, I would love to do something like this, but I have too much other things going. Yeah, I know. You have to budget your time for sure. I know people ask me, you know, when are you going to do this or that? Well, you know, guys, only so many hours in the day, and I only stream 2 to sometimes 3 days a week. So it's hard to get this one added, all those little space areas there. It's hard to squeeze in everything you want to do on a stream, you know? This one's in progress. Added a planet right here. This one had 4 different scenes. So I'm trying to incorporate all 4 of them into one. Like this is the above ground. This is the underground world there. Working on this one. Working on this one. Put the mist through it. Painted in the clouds here to reflect. Painted in the blue and the clouds. Here's another one that we did on stream. So yeah, I'm just going to take a few minutes to do a kind of a flip here through the altered books and mixed media journals. Added all this, added our own water. Yeah. So let's see this one, and I did varnish. This is what it looks like after it's varnished. So after you've glued everything down, if you want to make it like really like finished looking and cohesive, then you could put a coat of varnish on it. And I use the Delta Ceramcoat because people always ask. And I do have a video, guys, of supplies I use. Um, my collage and color book supplies. But, you know, it's always being updated. But anyway, this is the Delta Ceramcoat Gloss Exterior Interior Varnish. And it's like about 10 bucks. Use a 50% off coupon. Get it for $5 or $6. Thanks, Beth. And that's what I use to varnish all my work, whether it's the art cards. You'll know I make the little art cards, whether it's a bigger piece. Now, I don't usually varnish my posters, but in any books or anything like that's what I use. So that one is Abandoned Places. Sip of coffee here, guys. Okay, so then I have a few. I have done a few of these little books. This one I did back in 2013. And that was before. I guess I've been uploading to YouTube now. It's going about 2.5 years, something like that. I've been streaming for over six years and some months. And so these won't be on videos that I have on YouTube, but I thought I'd show a couple of different versions. So this one I made out of a paper bag of grocery bags, and I put some quotes. This one I wanted to do some quotes, collage and quotes. So I tried to make it. I made it kind of messy on purpose and splattered some ink and stuff because I wanted it to look old. And I just tied it. I just punched some holes and put some twine in it. And yeah, so it's kind of the same type of thing. You can thank me for that. Yeah, yeah, Jean. Yeah, Jean and Rach 0113 are the two that got me to upload to YouTube. Jean goes, you can thank me for that with a donation. Now, Jean does do, she will do cut files, stencil files for you for just really reasonable. If y'all have a silhouette, a cameo, or you can cut things with SVG files. Jean makes some awesome stencils, stencil files. She doesn't make the stencils. She makes the files. Jean, if you want to put your link in there, she makes files for you to download and cut them yourself. So yeah, so there you go, Jean. There's there's my donation for you. So anyway, what I did is did some quick little collage bits, and it's all on. See, it's on brown, brown paper, and the envelopes, brown. So yeah, I'll just kind of do this. I have another 10 files ready to go. Yeah, I saw that you were working on them, Jean. I haven't seen what they are. So these are just done with the calligraphy pen, dip pen, and I splattered the ink and made it look like ink got all over it and stuff like. I mean, I did it on purpose. I wanted it to look like old and messy, kind of, So yeah. I love this quote. Imagination was given to man to compensate him for what he is not, and a sense of humor to console him for what he is. So yeah. So that's just a little paper bag. So you can just make them out of, those little brown envelopes. Folded in half, just punched a couple holes and tied a cord on there, and you got a little... Yeah, it's been a while since... Yeah, Julie, it's been a while since I pulled this little booklet out. I know, right? So I'll show you a few of my, this is the probably the one that I'm working the most current in. And these four that I'm getting ready to show you are all from the Dilutions, these Dilutions journals. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the Dinah Reevely, no, not, yeah, Diane Reevely. I get her and Dina Wakely, their names, yeah. So anyway, these are the Dilution journals, you know, the ones that have the red, they have a red binding, which I just painted over. And it's got these, you know, envelopes in the front. And I did the same kind of collage, and these have been varnished. It's the same kind of um, process on all of them. Here's the back side of this one. So, oh, you have 20 more files ready to go on your blog. Okay, so Jean, what's your blog name again? Is it just Music Scrap? Give me the blog name so I can say it. So if y'all want some cut files from Jean. And she only charges a couple, three. What do you charge per stencil? I forgot, Jean. For the cut file. So yeah. So this one, and most of these that are finished, I think all of this in this book. Thanks, Jean. All right, so it's the musical scrapper .blogspot.ca because Jean's in Canada. The musical scrapper .blogspot.ca, and you scroll down, you'll find her stencil files there. So yeah. So this one's been varnished. You can see I varnish with, I use matte medium to like knock back all the shine and to glue everything down. But then I go back at the end and put a coat of gloss varnish on it. So anyway, but I think all of these probably have videos. If you look in my mixed media, collage, altered book, I have a playlist for mixed media. So, yeah. So these are just in part. See, oh, and the other thing I'll tell you is when you're working in a journal, you want to work in front, back, back and forth, back and forth. Because if you just go from front to back, your spine's going to start to warp. It'll warp a little bit anyway, but I mean, it'll really warp. Like, let me show you. I always show this one. What do I do with it? A magazine journal where it's really warped. This one. So this is two magazines glued together, and it's the same kind of process, but you see how the spine warped? It's almost completely turned sideways because I started this one going straight through front to back, and then by the time I got to the back, it just started warping, and you can't ever get that out. Once it's like warped from the paint, and so if you don't want this to happen, then work front to back and go back and forth and back and forth. It'll still warp a little, but not that bad. See? Yeah, exactly. Go front to back. Okay, so these are all in process. So what I'll do is if I find a bunch of collage bits I like, I'll start to glue them down, and then I'll go back and turn them into worlds. So there's going to be some blank pages because, like I said, I go front to back. So you can see this is how my process starts out in making these worlds. It's just like this, collaged stuff down. This one doesn't have as much stuff done in it because this is the newer of the four. So there's probably a couple. And here's this one's done and varnished. And then I go in there with paint. Y'all have seen the process. There's plenty of videos. There's a video on this one. And paint in to make the world like a cohesive world based on what I've glued in. So, yeah. This one's done. Another tiger one. It's a little bit of a upper world there. I guess it's probably best if I just keep it on the table so you can see it. There's a video on this one. Let's see here. Just more stuff started to be glued in like this. Okay, let's see. Here's another finished one, I think. Yeah, this one's finished. This one I did spend a lot of time on this. I added a lot of tinier details, littler waterfalls and planets and little tiny details that a lot of times when I'm doing a show, I don't do this much work because of time constraints. As is, these probably take two parts. So you're looking at probably 5 to 6 hours on each one of these. And that's if I hurry. Yeah. Let's see, do I have any more finished? There's a partial one. There's a partial one. There's a finished one. I don't really like this one. I wanted the fish to look like he was busting throughout the water, but I think I got in a hurry and I got too much, got rid of too much of my fish. He kind of lost his fins under the waves, so I wasn't real pleased with that one. But here's another one in process. Like the one with the tiger, yeah. So these are just my fun mixed media collage journals that I just like to make worlds. And again, they're the same exact process with the little art cards that I send out. They're just, bigger scale. So I have some different ones here. This one I think is probably the oldest one. Let me show you all three of these. Because I did do a video series. Well, I think I did 2 videos on how to make your journals look like faux leather. So I have a dark leather one. They've got paint all over them and everything now, but all right, why is that? That's really dark, but it's not. Maybe it's just because I can't see the. This one's like a chocolate brown, and then I did 2 faux leather ones, and I did show the process of these. There's videos on this. So, oh, thanks, Marilyn put my playlist in there. Thanks, Marilyn. So I did show how I did these faux leather covers. They're all the exact same. The covers are normally like the color of the manila envelopes, that yellow color, kind of crafty color, kind of color. It's not exactly the color of chipboard, but kind of chipboard color. But they're real heavy duty, so they take a lot of paint and stuff. Let's see, which one do I want to show next? Probably this one. Let's move this out of the way. And again, some have more in them than others, but I just want to show you. This one I started in 2013, and I was going to make it all calligraphy, but I changed my mind. So I did my initials in calligraphy in the cover, and that's as far as go. Yeah, the rest is just. So these are like from 2013. Some of them I actually even signed because I post them online, so I at least try to sign them. But these are from 2013. So this is probably the oldest book. Hey, Third Terry. And same process, just yeah. These are from 2013. So let's do a quick, and these are all varnished. I think I have varnished. There might be a couple in here that are not finished and not varnished. But most of them are finished and varnished. I love this one here. I love my fish ones. I love undersea kind of things. I'm not exactly a mermaid fan like Zandra, but I like underwater scenes like this. I like doing things in underwater. So yeah. Just kind of flipping real quick here. And the pages are nice and thick anyway, but then by the time I add matte medium, paper, paint, and then varnish, they're like real thick. I mean, they're real thick by the time I finish all that. It's my Father Time. So yeah. So just a little bit of everything, just whatever. This one, I love this owl. I had this as my phone, um, my screensaver on my phone for a while. Screensaver, yeah, it's not a screensaver. That's on your lappy or whatever. But you know, my screen, my screen was this for a while. So yeah, just a little bit of everything here. This one is, I kind of wasn't quite happy with that one, but yeah. This one I have them looking at each other and have feather, like, well, I can't hold it up for some reason. Maybe if I try to move the lamp just a little closer. There we go. Don't want it to flash out, but it got a little dark. You like it when you do flips of this? Yeah. And a lot of times I'll base it on color. Like her red hair, the red pear, the red tulip. And then I have, it's hard to see, but it's like a teal and lime background in there. So, yeah. And I'm moving it up and down so it fits in the screen. But if I zoom out, then it's like way too far. So, kind of do. This one's not done. I think the rest of these are not done. Yeah, so now I have some pages in here that are just, you know, got stuff on them ready to go. So yeah, so I have a bunch of pages in the, you know, it's probably about halfway done, this book. But I started doing the faux covers, and so then I moved on to the next journal after I did the faux covers. And then this one, let's see what's in this one. This one, okay, this was a newer one too, that there's a video on this one. Let's tilt it up just a little. You can kind of see. Thanks, guys. So I only have a few. I think we started this for some kind of a plan, and I forgot what it is. I forgot what the plan was, but we use this one as well to for the cover. So this one doesn't have a lot, and here's one that's finished right here. This one is a reversible one. I've done a few of these. They're a little tricky to do, but the idea is that you can look at it this way or this way. So it works either way, and so it's kind of like a mirror. It's not really a mirror image, but it's kind of like a reflection kind of thing. So you like watching these? Oh, good. So that goes either way. And let's see, do I have anything else completely finished in here? Let's see. Ah, yes, I do. I have two more, I think. There's my woman, Native American woman praying, and we added glitter to this. So let's see if you can see the glitter on the feather. There's glitter on her hair. Yeah. There's a little bit of glitter here. See the copper glitter right there? Right there. So yeah. So I really like her. This feather right here is a die cut. I cut the feather out. Thanks, Button Addict. That's a die cut feather right there that I glued on her. You see the wave right here? It turns into the feather. And then this whole thing comes like around. It's kind of hard to see all the detail, but when we were working on it, you could really see a lot of it. Yeah, reverse your, reverse, yes, GCB mommy. And then this one was this was a little touch and go here. Everybody said it looked like cinnamon rolls. I was trying to do the wind coming out from here and swirling, but it does with the glitter especially. We put glitter on, it looks like they look like little cinnamon buns. So yeah. And I don't put very many people. in my collage mixed media. I'll put some animals, and some things like that. I just don't put very many people because I consider like you're the person. You're in that world. But everybody will every once in a while say, "Come on, put a person in it," like put a bird on it. Yeah, cinnamon rolls. So every now and then I'll put a person in there. And again, guys, these are just for myself. My big animal, my posters that are more, I guess you'd call original, are my big posters with my animals on them. And those are the ones that eventually, I know, Terry, don't yell at me. I know they need to be up on Society 6. Denise was going to help me when she was here last weekend. Said, well, let's get your stuff up on Society 6. But we took all our time. By the way, she passed her test. She took the test for the loan. There's a name for it. It's a loan officer like test, like license. And so she did pass it. She said it was tough though. You have to know so many laws for that test, but she did pass. So anyway, we studied that whole weekend. So we never did get to the Society 6 things. That was last weekend. Thanks, Orla. So I think that's all in this one. Did I show you? Yeah, I showed you that one. So again, that's another. They're all the exact same journals. Yeah, congratulations, Denise. I know it was tough. I think the test was 3 hours. It took it's all done on computer. She had to go up to the college, and that's where they, officiate the testing or whatever. And but she did pass, so yay! I know, right? So okay, so now the last one. This one, which it's chocolate brown, so it's kind of hard to see against a black table here. But and it's got paint on it and stuff. I know. Unless we'll be notified by Helfrey. Yeah, we will. Terry. I know, Terry. I know. I know, Terry. I'm just so busy. Anyway, yeah, everyone's telling Denise congratulations. I know. So this one, I wanted to do a combination. I'll show you the napkin journal too, because it's kind of in the same vein. Um, but this one I wanted to do mixed media collage and color book pages. The napkin journal is all napkins and color book pages. So this is not really so much, it's still a collage kind of thing, but it's napkins um, and color book pages. This one is collage and color book pages. So, if you color like an angel, a fairy, or a gnome, and then you cut it out and you add it to your mixed media. So this one does have quite a bit in it. So this one's kind of full. And there's my little Mona Lisa muse. And again, this one I did not paint over the red spine, but I did collage down some Artie Dar paper and then painted out the little envelope to kind of go with the maroon, or the kind of red, maroon, and tealy colors. Yes, a napkin journal. So again, there's different bits. This is just, I think this was it wasn't a napkin. I started this in 2015. This was, it might have been a napkin. I don't know. So these are not varnished or anything. And there may be one or two, but it's all in process. So what I started with this one is, to get a little flashed out, maybe if I kind of prop it up just a little, take that light glare out. So this one is really considered like a mixed media because it's got paint. I slathered on paint, scraped on paint, and I think I went through on this book and put paint on every page, scraped paint or swiped paint or rubbed in paint with a baby wipe on every page before I started doing anything. So they all have some sort of paint on it to start. Then some of it has, like, here's some collage. This is the Tim Holtz music tissue. And it's not exactly tissue paper. It's in that roll, It's kind of like a waxy kind of rolly paper. And got some of that. This is, maybe that was a stamp. Here's an image of a magazine. This is a stencil. Then we just painted in the painted in the corally stuff. So this is kind of a little of everything. And then we started adding color book pages to it, some of them. Again, this is just all mixed media paint. This is some fish from a calendar, and then I added my own paint to paint it in. So this is some die cuts from my cameo silhouette. Yeah. Okay, so here's our biker pug. We drew him. For whatever reason, and then we turned him into a biker. Put a bone through his ear. Put a spiked collar, tattoo, helmet. I don't even remember the whole story behind it. And then I got her. I just cut her out of a calendar or a old book or something. Then we got stencils. So just so you can see all the kind of different things you can use in these books. Nothing, don't put anything off limit, right? This one, I kind of have it in process, but I really like the way it looks. The background almost looks like marbly looking, like how the Stone Angel looks kind of modelly like. Well, and the background kind of has that same feel. So I just kind of left it. But I don't know that any of these are, I would say 100%, like I could call it done. Yeah, Biker Pug rides again. Yes, Marilyn. So again, this little bit right here, this was a little bit of a calendar page right here, and then we just like extended, and this is all paint. So I just painted the world to expand out. And yeah, there's some stenciling and paint, just a little bit of everything. So again, just mixed media collage. When I come across a color book page, something, I'll point it out to you. Well, here's one here. So these giraffes, these 3 giraffes were in one of the Creative Haven Animal Zoo or something color books. So I color, and always if you want to put your color book images in a journal, make sure you color them. Like don't glue them in and then try to color them, because then you're fighting bumps and lumps and all kinds of things. It's much easier to color your pages or imagery or bits and then cut it out and glue it in. Okay, so these 3 giraffes were on one page, and I cut their heads off and just kind of spaced it around. So yeah, so just different. This arch is from a clip art book, an old clip art book, and yeah. And she's out of a book. This is from a clip art book, the little Celtic half knot there. And this is from a color book page. Little flower there. So yeah, you can just kind of see it's a little bit of everything. And a lot of times we don't finish because we're on show. And I'm just doing a demo. Someone will go, well, how do you glue this down? Or how do you paint this? And so then that's all we do. Never go back and finish it like this one. This one's not finished. This is from a clip art book. And I do have this in another art journal. And they're doors. There's a lion and a griffin. And they open up and it's like doors. That's in a different journal. So you can kind of see they're just different stages. Here's from the Look book, the Look color book, and she's not glued down yet. I just have her tacked in there because I think I want her on this page. But and then this angel here is not finished coloring. It's just got a wash over it. I think I glued this down with just a wash on it to show you not to do that. You got to color it first and then put it in. But there's that girl colored from the Look book. If you have any questions, put them in caps. Just going to kind of flip through. This one is, this one was from, I think that's from the Somerset Studio magazine. Her, and I colored her in. So yeah. And then you see you just go in here and paint. Yeah, you did color her, Jean. Jean did an awesome job with that one. So yeah, so you go in there and paint. This is all just acrylic craft paint. And the paint that I like, whoops, sorry guys, I bumped it. I gotta rearrange my room. I just use Americana craft paint. I like the colors that they have. I like that that's good coverage, and I also like that there's no sheen or shine. Now you can buy satin Americana and you can buy gloss Americana. This is not either of those. This is just the plain Americana acrylic paint. I don't think it says matte on it. But if it says gloss or satin, that's not what you want to use. The reason being is if you want to do any pencil work, you can't do pencil work. Well, I'm not saying you never can, but it's tough. You try to do pencil work over a sheen, over a shiny surface. So yeah, so there's just these were color book fairies out of a color book, and did some stenciling stuff up here, and then these were 3 different fairies on 3. I think they're on 3 different pages, and then we have this one kind of coming down a little waterfall here. That's some stencil back here, and then this is all paint. So just to kind of show that you can use your color book pages in your art journaling. So she's colored. She was out of a fairy book, a fairy color book. But you can see the back. This is Dilutions, I think. Now the thing about Dilutions is you have to be careful when you go to glue something on top of Dilutions. That can reconstitute, or any kind of watercolor, water soluble stuff can get, it'll reactivate. So if you use glue or whatever to glue down your images on top of that, you got to be careful that you don't smear, get re-wet that. Never cease. I see you burn, Mildred. I see you. You got to you didn't put it in caps. See, I just happened to look up burn when you said that. You got to put it in caps if you want to speak to me, because the chat scrolls by so quick. And I try to keep up. I do, guys. I try to keep up. She's out of a color book. This is just out of magazine. There's a stencil right there. Played with some wave action. What Americana color do you use for yellow ochre? Yellow ochre? There's a couple shades, Kim. I'm just being funny. There's yellow ochre. That's yellow ochre right here. This is just plain yellow ochre. But there's, and I'm not seeing it right here. There's a couple shades. When I go to buy paint, I don't really look at the names. I try to remember to tell you guys the names while I'm doing the project, whether it's pencils or whatever. But I look at the color. I don't really care what name it is. Now, if I had to go replace a color, like I run out of browns a lot. Sienna, dark chocolate brown. See, I don't even know the real names. I don't even know the names. So anything, just look at the color. Go by the color, not the name. Yeah, and Michael's had their Americanas on sale for 99 cents, plus a 20% off your total purchase. And I should have bought more, but I only bought 5. I think I got maybe 6. I think I got 4 browns and 2 blacks with the sale. All right, so this girl right here, she's not glued down yet, but she was out of the tattoo book, the tattoo design book. Remember the one that me and Darcy Glam? When Darcy Glam, we both bought the same book, and when we went to Books A Million, and we both bought the same book, and she was here, and we colored together, and I cracked the whip. Oh, yeah, I did see it. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Jean. Sorry, Bern, I didn't see you. So anyway, I liked her because of the colors. Remember, this particular book already has the colors in it. I started this book by putting spray inks, acrylic paint, scrapes, sprays, and all kinds of stuff in the background first. And in this case, so you can do it either way. So then I'm working into those colors. So, you are kind of at a disadvantage if you start your journals with all your pages sprayed or colored or scraped or painted. Because you're kind of limited to you're never really limited. You can paint over anything. But if you want to base your scheme, your color scheme on the colors that you've sprayed. Yeah, I ran out. I run out black, use a lot of black and white, and then I was just low on the browns for whatever reason. I just hadn't replenished those. So you can do it that way. And the advantage of having all your pages sprayed, spattered, stenciled, and what is you don't have to, something's there for you. You're not starting with a blank page. So it kind of can work both ways. It can be an advantage or a disadvantage. It kind of just depends on how you work, right? This one's done. This one's, see, it's just got some sprays and some stuff on it. Here's one where we took some more little fairies out of one of the books, and I have her writing on a hand. There's actually a hand there going through the sky. And then this one's dreaming. That's how I imagine it. She's dreaming of being that one. So she's reading a book and thinking and dreaming. You have to start from scratch. Yeah, see, I mean, different people, different things, Try it though sometime, Jean, where you just splatter some paint on and then try to go back and add something to it. Just, even up on just a piece of white cardstock. Just test it out. See if you like doing it. You never know until you try. Here's some more. This one was, this is Goldilocks and the 20 Bears. This one, these are just images out of the Roaring Twenties or something like that color book. So they're colored, and I put them on here based on their colors. She's out of the Flower Fashion color book. These are Creative Haven ones. I like them because they're one-sided. So I just don't like making copies out of color books. I'd just rather use the original. Now I have done a couple out of the Look book where I've made some copies and recolored a couple of those, or wanted a one side of the color book to put in a journal. But I like to use the originals. Yeah, yes, yeah, splatter. Well, don't splatter, then scrape, Jean. Scrape your paint with a palette knife rather than splatter. So what I like about the Creative Haven is they're one-sided. So if I color it and cut it out, it's not ruining the back side. So she's out of the Floral Fashion. All the girls in that color book are flower dresses and hats. So you can see. This one's partially done. You can see I'm not blended any of that in. You have several pages in your first illusion journal, and they are likely going to get glued together because they just sit and look at you. You don't like to work. Well, paint over them then, Jean. You don't have to, you can just paint over them. This one is partially done. She's partially colored. I think I wanted to show again, like, don't cut it out and glue it in until you finished it. And this is out of a clip art book or an angel book. I can't remember which. Because, clip art, this type of clip art is way before color books. I mean, I've got clip art books back from the 70s. This is out of the Steampunk, Creative Haven Steampunk. And again, there's a couple little bits not finished yet, you can see. But we went ahead and glued her in, probably as an example for something. Look, some things are just stuck on here. So this is like a kind of continuously work in progress. Although there's only so many hours in a day, so we're constantly moving forward to other projects. And so sometimes these kind of, our art journal's gonna get left to the side. This was out of the Steampunk, Creative Haven Steampunk, and I did color them before I cut them out. And then, but what I wanted to really stress on this one was then we cut it out and glued it in this page, okay? And then I painted in. So see how you can put the water right over the images. So you can really blend them in with paint. So don't just think you just have to glue them down and don't touch them. Also, look, I cut it. I cut it out to make it fit on that page. Don't be afraid to cut things out. Like maybe you just wanted him and not her. You could just cut him out. And then over here is my time chamber, time travel chamber. I did over on this side. And then, of course, the steampunk, with the time travel flavor, So, yeah. Again, just partially done things, some big flowers, some stencils. Every time I see this page, I think how much I love this page. I love this page. If I did nothing else to it, I love this page. The colors, the everything about it. And it's not done, but I love this page. You just ordered the Creative Haven Steampunk Fashion book. It was only $4 and some change. Yeah. And if y'all have Hobby Lobby next to you or around you, Hobby Lobby has a lot of Creative Haven color books, and Hobby Lobby will take coupons on their color books, or on any book actually, where like Michael's does not take coupons on books or color books. Hobby Lobby does. So if you got a $6 Creative Haven book, you can get it for, $2 or $3. So yeah. This one was based on some of the little things that Colleen sent me. I don't usually like lumpy, bumpy things in my books because it hinders you from doing the next thing because it's bumpy and lumpy. But these pages are pretty thick, and I haven't, had any issue with it. But she sent me some flowers, some tags, all kinds of little notes and things. So I went ahead and did an official art journal page. Y'all know I don't usually do art journal pages. I'm putting it in quotes because, a lot of art journaling has journaling. I don't journal on my art pages, but occasionally I'll do something like, like flowers, and these are the cups that she sent, these little stencils. So, with the little tags in it. So I did kind of do an official art. This is my official art journal page. I have some older ones too. I have a lot of the old art journals that were had a little bit more text to them, but it's just not me. If I'm writing, I'm writing in a Moleskine. If I'm journaling or mixed media collage, it's a total separate thing. Although I will occasionally, like you saw on the little booklet, I put some quotes in that or something like that. All right, here's the thing about varnishing a color book page. It depends on what you use. Depends on what you use. If you use, anything I would test everything. If you use anything water soluble, you'd have to fixative it first. You can do a spray fixative and let it fixative, and then you could varnish it. But just putting wet varnish on top of anything that's can be reconstituted with water, you're going to mess, it's going to move. This is just liquid. It's going to move it. So you have to fixative things. I do not like to fixative anything. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I just don't. If I'm gonna private journal something, that's just me journaling for myself. It's just not, and not. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with it. Don't email me. Don't leave me bad comments. You do whatever you want. It's your journal, right? You're the boss of your art journal. You're the boss of your color book. But I don't like the time for one thing. You got to take it outside, you got to spray it, and then the odor just really never leaves. You still can smell that fixative odor on things. I don't fixative anything if I don't have to. I have done it. I have done it, but I don't like to. So yeah, so these are all just in process. You can see. Here's another steampunk girl. And again, we use collage bits to add some wings to her. But it's a color book page. So it's a color book page, but it's a mixed media collage too. This is a piece of color book up here. This is a piece of color book right here. So again, this is out of a clip art book. This is from a clip art Celtic Knot book. Now you can get color books with all this in it, but So some stencils, some flowers, some vases. This one's done. And the little fish are from a color book. And then this was from a piece of stenciled something. And I like the way it looked like that, a little fit inside of an aquarium, those little castles and things that they put for fish to play in. So I just kind of painted it in and put some more windows to make it look more like a castle tower. But that's all paint. Stencil there. See a little bit of stencil there. But you can do these backgrounds, your mixed media backgrounds, and a lot of people go, well, I don't know what to do with them. Well, put some color book pages on it. You know, you can just make your own. This is from a clip art book here. That's a big stencil. I think that's actually 4 stencils. That's a cathedral window stencils. This one's done. This is another girl from the Floral Fashion Creative Haven book. So she's all colored in, and then we put her underwater with a little time chamber there, or a little, I kind of look, to me it kind of reminds me of like when you're looking out of a submarine, you know, out of a submarine porthole. So yeah, just some more stenciling. So it's all in process. This was just a fun day we had playing with steampunk. Put some glitter, and yeah, we'll just did a little, painted a steampunk frog and painted a little steampunk. Uh, so again, all of just different stages. So this one, this is part of a magazine, and then I think we just painted this one in. This one's probably, I don't know if that one has a video or not. So yeah, so this one, there's out of the Kimono color book, Creative Haven. So you can just see it's just all different, lots of little bits of glued stuff here in the back. So this one, it got pretty fluffy, and you see how it's starting to warp. See how it starts to warp, and you just never can get that back. Just can't get it flat again. But yeah, so there, those are the 4 mixed media collage and or color books that I have. This one I'll show real quick again, although I've shown it kind of recently. This is our napkin journal. This one is all based on a napkin background, a decorative napkin background. And I do have some here that are waiting to be used. I have a couple here, some florals. So it's these kind of napkins, guys. You know, well, you guys know, but if you're watching the recording, they're the decorative napkins you can get. You can get them all over Party City, Tuesday Morning, Hallmark. But what you want to do is remove the back. Sometimes there's 2 layers of backing on this. And Jean told me this trick where you take a piece of double-sided tape and you can stick the tape on, and then this will separate the layers. So see how that's pulling up that layer with the tape? And then you can peel off those back layers. The reason you want to do that is if you don't peel off these layers, when you go to glue, when you glue the top layer down, you're really not gluing it down, because this bottom layer is preventing the glue from actually sticking to your page. So you want to, see how it just pulls it up when you put the tape on there? You want to remove the backing before you use your napkins in a napkin journal. That's my tip. I don't know where Jean got the tip, but that's where I got the tip, was from Jean. The other thing is, when you use napkin journals, it's best if you start with a white page, or, you know, a light color page. And the reason for that is, let me get a piece of white paper here. If you start with a painted page, let's just say you painted the background black or colors. Here's your napkin, right? Now look at this. This is what it'll look like when you glue it down. But if you put it on a white page, look at the difference. See the difference right there? This is why you want to start with gluing your napkins on a white page. See how much difference and vibrancy that is? So if at all possible, start with the napkin on the base rather than the paint, because if you want the nice vibrancy of the pretty napkin, that's the difference right there. Okay. All right, so let me just go through the napkin journal real quick. Then we're going to stop this video. It went a little longer. I was thinking about 20 or 30 minutes. We're into an hour, but that's okay. All right, so this is an old date book thing that my sister sent me for my birthday in 2009. Y'all know I don't do dates. I don't do calendars. I don't do diaries. But the book, love the book. Love the book, right? It's like a vintage ledger looking book. So we used it for a napkin journal. So what you're going to see is some here, like this one here, is just the napkins glued down. And I use golden matte medium to glue everything down. Okay, you can go off the edge and then trim around the edge, whatever you want to, however you want to do it. But and all the pages are not done yet. Here's my Terry Trouble napkin waiting for its place next. This is the next napkin I'm going to use, is this peacock one. But I do have something on most all the pages, not every single one. But what I'm doing with this one is I'm starting with napkins as the background and then adding color book pages to it. So you can make this a theme thing, or, I was trying to use all fairies, gnomes, and elves and that kind of thing in it. But all the backgrounds start off with napkins. And then I'll add, like, I painted my own branches. You can add your own whatever. Here's a little bird painted in some rocks and things. And after you do the napkins, and you can do whatever on the background. So like this and this is from a color book, but then I added the branches myself with paint. So don't just think that you can't add your own whatever to them. Here's a mermaid where we added a lot of glitter. She's all glittered up. But the fish napkins, this is all napkin. And then I just put in my own little stars and own little world going on around it. This one you can see it's just got the napkin waiting for something. There's another one here where this and this are color book pages, and then this is, and you can use different napkins. Like I might have two different napkins. In this case, I think it's just the iris napkin here with it had yellow and some butterflies in it. But then I painted in the whiskers and the sky and the lightning and the planets. So you blend in the napkins with paint, just like you do collage. Okay, it's the same thing. Again, I can't stress it enough, especially in the napkin journal. You want to color these separately, cut them out, and then glue them on top. The napkins especially have a lot of texture, and if you try to glue them in and color on top, you're going to be picking up that texture. You know what I mean, Vern? Like, I'll show you here. Let me get a piece of paper. So, where's a pencil? I just had a pencil right here. I want something kind of dark, so you can, okay, here's a black one. So if you try to glue them in and then color them, so look, see, if you tried to color, see all that texture? So if you're trying to color a page, that's what you're going to get. So you want to color them and then cut them out. Hey, Carol Renee, and glue them in. And I don't really have any problem with any sticking with golden matte medium. I know you can have some sticking issues with like Mod Podge or different things. Maybe they've changed the formulation. I don't know. But I never have really anything stick with golden matte medium, as long as you let it dry. Okay, you got to let it dry. And once in a while I'll get a little crunch on it. They're not really sticking, but because I have piles of journals on top of each other or smashed into a shelf, sometimes it sounds like they're kind of sticking, but they're really fine. This is what, like every month, like, or every season, I think the spring, summer, fall, and winter, they had this kind of double page spread already in the book, which I thought was kind of pretty. Here's another napkin. So you can just see how I've got just bits of napkins ready to add whatever I want to it. So they're like ready to paint in. Here's this one we did at Halloween. Well, we did it for the month of October, and we did kind of like a pumpkin fairy, if you will. And so this is like 2 or 3 different napkins. I think maybe 2. The one with the raven and the gate is one napkin, and then the little pumpkins are another napkin, and then painted in the mist and the fog, and just put her in there, colored her, and made it look like she was holding one right there, and then glittered her up. So you can see, we added some glitter throughout. Yeah, so it's another one. Color book page. No, that's a napkin. That's napkin, napkin. The flowers are napkin. This is a color book page, and then she's a color book page. And then just extended up her antlers there. Thanks, Shell. Here's a little fairy sleeping in a flower. And this is two different napkins. I think it's the poppy napkin and a bee napkin. So that's two different ones. Then this is a color book. The big flower is a color book with her sleeping in it. And again, added some glitter to her wings there. And a little bit on the bees. The bee wings. Put some glitter on them. The pumpkin. So again, just ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Let's see if there's any more finished ones in here. Here, this little elf. Okay, so these sunflowers were all napkins, and then I just painted in the dirt. We added glitter to the sunflowers, and then he's another little elf out of I think the fairy book or something. I forget which book. And we colored him, cut him out, and then put a little glitter around his little flower he's holding. So he's got a little flower wand of glitter. So, and then all this is just paint. Let's see here. Do I have any more? So you can just see the different napkins here. That you'll add your color book pages, but you'll paint. You see, you paint all this out. Add your own touch. So that's just like your starting point, your starting off point. Okay, here's a little, like a little wind fairy. And this is a color book page. She's color book. And this is a separate color book, I think, here. And then we just put the two together. Napkin is all the pink in the background. And then just paint, add your own little touches. Add your own little touches to it. And again, another one with eggs. And then there's the background. Oh, here's one more. So again, you can see that's, we added, I think this was actually a collaged piece of a moon or a Mars or something that was in a book or magazine. Glued that in, added all our own paint and some color pencil, and then she's out of a book and he's out of a book. So yeah, and then the flowers and the butterflies, that's all napkin back there. The yellow flowers, that's all napkin in the background. So yeah, so hopefully y'all got some inspiration from all these art journals and collage altered books. So again, the new calendar I got was this one with, it's called Left Behind, you know, big deserted places. They'll be fun to alter, right? Either cut them out or put them in an art journal, put them in the Abandoned Places book, or make it into a poster, any and all of the above. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and then we're going to do a color book page. We're going to color in the book that Juju sent me from UK, Coloring with a U. Gothic book. It's a magazine. She said it's a magazine over there. And Selena Finnick is the artist. So we're going to do something out of this in a minute. So let me go ahead and stop this video and save it, and we'll be right back.